Good morning and welcome to Financial Friday. I'm Stacey Sturm, and in the studio with me today, I have John Lenars of Legacy Financial Partners. And today we're going to be talking about compound interest. How's it going today, John?
Like I said before, it's another day in paradise. It's still beautiful here in Bismarck today, and sunshine and spring's around the corner. What's not to be excited about?
Yeah, I know. It feels good. So compound interest, as soon as I said that, I bet a lot of people just glazed over. They have no clue what compound interest is. So tell us what compound interest is and how does it work?
Oh, there's a quote that somebody said, Albert Einstein said it. It's actually compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. and it's really the most magnificent man-made wonder there is. But compound interest is, simply put, your earnings earning earnings. Your earnings making more money.
Okay.
And so it's, you invest $1,000, you make $100. Now that 100 and that 1,000 can make more money, and it's just compounding year after year after year. Your earnings earning you more money.
So it's your money working for you, is what
correct.
It is.
That's correct.
Okay. So how do you guys figure out compound interest?
Well, it's, the mathematics are actually rather straightforward, but it's hard to work out in your head because the numbers become so astronomically big given time. Mm-hmm. And in our world, the investment world, where nothing's a straight line, it's always, up 1% one day, down 2% the next, up 4%, and we get somebody stubbed their toe, so the market went down, and somebody found, picked up a nickel on the sidewalk, so the market went up. There's all these crazy things that happen, and it just becomes overwhelming to most people. Mm-hmm. And but there's a few simple things that people can do to really figure out what does it all mean, and the best rule I've ever found is the rule of 72. Okay. And the rule of 72 states that whatever interest rate you are earning on your money, you divide that number into the number 72, and that'll give you the number of years it takes for your money to compound and to double.
Oh, okay.
So you take the rule of 72 and you use the simple number of 10% rate of return. You divide that into 10% into 72. It takes 7.2 years for $1,000 to double to $2,000 on a straight line 10% rate of return. So I use that number a lot of times in my client meetings to just help clients understand something that's complex and nauseating to most people, to how can we have this work for you. So it's a very basic rule that just divide your interest rate into the number 72, and that'll give you the number of years it takes for that dollar to compound and double.
So speaking of giving clients advice, give people advice to taking advantage of compound interest. Like, what should you do?
Well, I did a quick calculation before we started here today, and you really only need this number to put it in your head. So I just decided to, everybody probably can find $100 in their month that they spend frivolously on things that
eating out.
Yeah, even a meal
grabbing
out.
Through coffee, two
meals out for a couple. That's minimum $100 today in our environment. But if you took that $100 and you invested it every single month into a portfolio that'll earn you a 10% rate of return, like the S&P 500 index, and over a 30-year period of time, that dollar amount would grow to $230,000.
Wow.
So if you make that number, instead of $100 a month, you make it $1,000 a month. In 30 years, it's $2.3 million.
Holy cow.
Yeah. It's just the look on your face, Stacey. What did you just say?
I was thinking how many coffees and stuff I bought that I probably should have put towards compound interest.
And that's actually as easy as it is.
Yeah.
It is, and so you what I tell clients or anybody that's willing to listen is you just need to start. Yeah. And you just need to be disciplined once you start and never stop. And the earlier you can start, the better it is. and just let the compounding interest work to your benefit. Because if you don't, inflation using compound interest works to your negative.
Right.
Because everything, as we're all aware, over time, things just get more and more expensive, and it's going to take more and more dollars to live in the future. Mm-hmm. And that's really what you're saving for, is to give yourself the opportunity to save and to live in the future. Right. So my number one advice to somebody is just start with anything. $25 a month, 100, 200. You know, the best math of anything is to save 10% of your earned income every single year. 10% of your earned income. When you get your first job, you get out of college, you get your first job, the first thing you do is pay yourself. Take that first dollar of earnings and pay yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because the bills are going to come, the taxes are going to come. If you never pay yourself and never get started, you've already put yourself behind the 8 ball.
Right.
And so
and young kids out of college actually have a little bit of money. They don't have little kids that are like, hey, I need this money for my diapers. I need this money for my formula. I need this money for school.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what walk of life.
Yeah.
And I always use the story of Joe and Mary Lunchbucket. And you know, they're just, you know, both go to work, earn a wage, and come home. But even then, saving 10% of your paycheck into an investment account of some sort, anything, and just putting that money away, it's phenomenal how much money that they will accumulate.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you the number of stories that I've seen where it's been husband is a construction worker, wife works as a secretary or clerical job at any kind of a law office or construction company, whatever. And they just had the discipline to save. And they walk into my office at age 65, worth a couple $1 million. And I've got medical doctors as clients that walk into my office at age 55, making a couple $100,000, $300,000-$400,000 a year that don't have anything because they spent it all.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of discipline of saving it.
Right. So are there any risks or dangers, though?
The biggest danger is, the two biggest dangers are not starting, and then starting but stopping. And those are the two biggest dangers. And a third one is starting too late. You know, yeah. And there's many different ways you can do it. You know, somebody who saves $1,000 a month starting at age 20 and stops saving at age 30, and then his buddy starts at age 30, $1,000 a month, will never catch up. He will never catch the saver, even when the first person stops at age 30.
Right.
The person who starts at age 30 and continues to invest will never catch up because that guy's already got their money compounding for them.
Yeah.
So that's the danger, is just people who start and then stop, or they start their 401k and they quit and had to move to a different town and they took the 401k and we needed to get a different car or whatever.
Down payment on this.
Pay the penalty. We got to do X, Y, or Z, and they blow the money, and then now it's not in that account to earn tax deferred interest. You know, so there's a lot of dangers in it, and as well as it can work for you, it will work against you if you don't use it.
So if people are interested in getting started today, how can they get a hold of you guys, John?
The easiest way is to call the office. Our office here in Bismarck on Main is office number is 701-258-9735. Our Legacy Financial Partners website with Ameriprise is planwithlfp.com. Or you can go to my personal webpage, ameripriseadvisors.com/john.lenarz.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on with us today.
You're welcome.
And you've been listening to Financial Friday on urlradio.net.